Hello everybody and welcome to today's Tyde Talk on Dead by Daylight's Will Make It perk. We will be covering the several changes to one of the best altruistic perks in the game and finding where it is within today's meta. While making the Advanced Claudette video, there were several people in the comments that were confused as to the benefits of Will Make It, as they were under the impression it does not stack, but today my friends, I'm here to clear that all up. We'll begin where we always do, and that is with the release of the game for perks that existed at the time. Will Make It is a neutral perk that has always been available for survivors at the very start of the game. It is one of the few neutral perks to have a massive impact on gameplay, especially with friends. At the beginning, Will Make It was known to be one of the most overpowered survivor perks of the time. When saving an ally from the hook, you'd gain a healing speed of 100% to a maximum of 300% for 2 minutes. This means that saving multiple people, you were stacking up the power of healing by 100% each time. The way it is worded on the perk itself may have confused a lot of people, including myself, and especially those today who are reading the perk where it says that the cap of the healing is to 100% maximum. There is no combination of perks that could possibly have a survivor reach a healing speed of 300%. Instead, it would just keep stacking this perk on itself for 2 minutes when you were making saves within those 2 minutes. And on top of that, you could extend past the 300% with perks like Botany and Leader. The amazing speed of Will Make It had the power to turn 12 seconds of healing into an incredible 4-second heal. Additionally, this also affected the other meta perk, Self-Care. And after being super altruistic and saving 3 friends off the hook, you'd have an amazing 300% healing speed on top of Self-Care. At the time, Self-Care healed yourself at 80% healing speed instead of the 50% we know today. What this meant was survivors could run the killer to a pallet, drop the pallet, and by the time the killer would break the pallet, the survivor self-cares right in front of them back to full health. This would contribute to the dark times of Dead by Daylight, but again, that would be for another day. I know some of you really want to hear about that subject, but it'll take some research, and honestly, you can get bits and pieces through these smaller Tyde Talks, but I'll be sure to cover that entire subject once I get things together. We'll save that for a very large project later down the line. Now back to the power of Will Make It. Since survivors were experiencing such strength with the capabilities of healing yourself literally mid-chase, the devs heard the outcries of killers pointing out to its overuse and popularity. The response came quickly, and only 15 days after the release of the game, a nerf was made. Patch 1.0.2 would introduce several changes to many of the godlike survivor perks at the time. If you don't believe me in terms of how powerful they were, just take a moment to look it up. It's out there and it's incredible. Though the balance changes they made wouldn't fix the game, they were the right steps to balancing major issues from release. In terms of Will Make It, it lost the ability to work for any healing action that was applied to yourself. This means no more self-care in 4 seconds. Instead, the bonus could only apply to healing others specifically. They also reduced the duration by half and capped the healing to 100% at all tiers. This is where a lot of people today may get a bit confused as to how the healing works. The perk still stacks with itself. For example, if you have tier 1, you could potentially heal at 100% speed when you stack it up 4 times, unhooking 4 people within the time limit. For tier 3 Will Make It, you can't stack it any further since the single save, you're already at the maximum limit. This, however, does not mean that you cannot stack it with other healing bonuses. The effects of perks such as Botany and Leader still stack onto the 100%, as well as items like a medkit. Don't believe me? Well, I caught footage and timestamped it so you could see the difference. The first clip is healing with just Will Make It. This is based on the patch 2.5.4, so the base healing speed is 16 seconds, and the first clip ends at an 8-second heal. Then the second clip shows that with Botany and Will Make It, you can actually wrap up healing at about 6.3 seconds, which means I did indeed heal faster with Botany and Will Make It, proving it stacks. After the change, Will Make It was found to be balanced and at the right spot. It definitely didn't see overuse though, as there was one glaring problem for players who ran it outside of Survive with Friends. The dreaded fear of players would cause this perk to mostly go unused with a team of randoms, as lower skilled players tend to sprint off immediately after being saved. Players had no way of knowing you were actually running the perk without you actively telling them in pre-game chat. After being saved off the hook, the killer knows you're there, so people tend to just run. And my god, they would run. Especially lower skilled players would run out of fear, and when they run with fear, they do not stop sometimes. And if they're running self-care, they might just opt to self-care themselves, thinking nothing of it, being you would heal them at 20% faster, but that wouldn't be enough for them. Plus, at the time, blood points were a huge factor, and healing yourself gave you the blood points, so you might selfishly do it not knowing that the person with Will Make It could have done it in a fraction of the time. This issue would plague the perk until patch 1.9.3, where Will Make It would now give survivors notification when they were in range of another survivor who had an active Will Make It perk. The developers blessed this perk with one of its much needed quality of life updates. So where does it fit in today's meta? Well, that's pretty simple. It is a powerful perk that fits into any altruistic build. If at any time you would save an ally off the hook, it would be the choices between running Will Make It or borrowed time to help that ally have a greater chance of survival. Even if Will Make It didn't work with self-care, it is still one of the few perks to boast such a bonus to action speed of any kind. Not to mention, it saw even more use after patch 1.9.4, which was not a direct change to the perk itself, but instead the addition of the emblem system. And with that system, this game was no longer about just blood points for survivors. Instead, in order to win, you had to complete a set of tasks to increase the score you would get from said emblems. One of these scores is Benevolence, which would gain points if you heal or rescue someone. Therefore, Will Make It allowed you to secure points faster by healing someone faster right after rescuing them. Healing points also have to be competed for, as healing the same person with another survivor will only grant you points based on how much of the bar you were responsible for healing. So if both of you start at the same time, you both get 50% of the 10 points you could have gotten. And that's where Will Make It comes in. You could secure additional points for yourself since you're healing at twice the speed. Therefore, the battle of trying to heal someone faster to assure you gain the points began, and it worked out well for everyone who's going for saves. Will Make It has secured itself into the meta, serving as a focus for Benevolence emblem and as a counter to the new anti-healing meta. Sloppy Butcher and Coulrophobia, being the two high-end anti-meta perks, don't really compare to a one-on-one level with Will Make It. For as long as the survivor has Will Make It, they can trump any anti-healing effect. This really sums up the history of what we have for Will Make It. It started off as a godlike perk and met good balance relatively quickly. Today, it's still an amazing perk, and you'll definitely find me using it for sure. A bit of food for thought is how fast they fixed the perk Will Make It, just showing how godlike and broken it was, whereas other perks didn't receive any love for quite some time, like our other Tyde Talk, Prove Thyself. It's just interesting to see how something so imbalanced could reach urgency with the push of the community, and it's lovely to see that a godlike perk gets put down to a proper balance and is still a wonderful perk today. Thank you all for watching. I'll be preparing next week's videos shortly. If you wish to see more daily Dead by Daylight content, I've been making advanced perk videos to fill in the days in between our Tyde Talks. I'll link a few down below if you want to check them out. Also, if you want to watch me live during my fog hour at 9 PM Pacific every day, I'm at twitch.tv/TydeTyme. If that time ever changes, you could always join my Discord where I have a live schedule for everything that I do. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and as always, good game.